In The Big Bang Theory, Leonard is the character who suffers the most. His mother is distant and emotionally abusive. Sheldon frequently treats him poorly, and Penny is often dismissive, sharp, and at times outright disrespectful. By the latest seasons, the show even turns it into a running joke that she settled for him. So the real question is, does Penny actually deserve Leonard? My name is Zarina Matcha, and you're watching The Rational Female. If you enjoy my content, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. I have done a video discussing misandry in The Big Bang Theory already, which you can check out in the cards. The show opens with Leonard seeing Penny as this unobtainable beauty. From the very beginning, the storyline is simple. Leonard wants the girl and seeks to get the girl. In the last episode of season 1, Penny agrees to go on an official date with Leonard. Yet in the first episode of season 2, she hides from him the fact that she didn't finish university. When Leonard finds out, Penny reacts with hostility and slams the door on him. She displays no emotional maturity and no desire to work things out or talk things through. Penny constantly behaves like this with Leonard. She storms off, snaps at him, and makes a big fuss out of small things. Leonard doesn't treat her badly compared to some of Penny's previous partners. The only terrible thing he really does is drunkenly kissing another woman, and he is very honest and upfront about this. I'm not saying that Leonard is the perfect or ideal boyfriend, but I am saying that her constant snapping at him is a common depiction of modern female behavior. It's common for women to snap, go cold, or just get annoyed over small things in their relationship or even in a friendship. And this is frequently shown in modern films and television. In season 3, once Penny and Leonard become an actual couple, Penny wants an old boyfriend to stay on her sofa, and Leonard, understandably, gets upset. What would happen if the roles were reversed? I doubt Penny would be happy about an old girlfriend of Leonard's staying on his sofa. In fact, what would likely happen is the show would side with Penny over Leonard. We tend to side with the woman, even when the man is not necessarily in the wrong. This is incredibly sexist. Leonard is constantly trying to appease Penny's coldness and snappiness. This behavior is largely due to the relationship he has with his mother. Because the show is a comedy, we never really address the genuine sadness of Leonard's childhood. I think that he should have cut his mother off as an adult. In the penultimate episode of the show, Leonard and his mother have some reconciliation, and Leonard hugs her and says that he forgives her and forgives himself. This actually got on my nerves. I think that Leonard should have told his mother to go away. That would have been a powerful moment for his character. I'm of the view that we shouldn't have to keep narcissistic or dysfunctional people in our lives unless we really have to. I don't have narcissistic parents, so I can't specifically relate to that, but I have dealt with other toxic people in my life, and I think it's best to walk away, not try to work through the relationship, because that person is not going to change. The idea that you can build a healthy relationship with someone who is emotionally and psychologically abusive is quite dangerous from my perspective. If someone has wronged you and done severe psychological damage towards you, I think it's best to walk away. But that's just my opinion. Leonard doesn't actually show much growth over the course of the show in terms of how he behaves around people. He pretty much starts and ends as the diplomatic peacemaker. Because of his upbringing and people-pleasing nature, he can be too much of a walkover. This is heavily apparent in the season 7 episode, The Itchy Brain Simulation, where Leonard wears an itchy jumper for days to prove a point to Sheldon, which for me is the worst episode in the whole show. Sheldon is unnecessarily cruel here. Often when Sheldon behaves badly, he has a moment of redemption or he apologizes, but this doesn't happen in that episode. It's actually really difficult to feel sorry for Leonard in that episode because he brings what happens on himself, and really he should just have not put up with any of it. I do feel bad for him, but also it was kind of his own fault. Howard becomes more emotionally mature over the course of the show. Raj becomes able to talk to women and stops being so romantically idealistic. And even Sheldon gets a rounded arc in the last episode, which for me is the most beautiful moment in the entire show. But for Leonard, he remains the man who wants to prove himself to everyone. There are a few examples of him showing some more backbone, such as in season 12 when he has to decide who at the university gets money to fund their project. That episode is a win for Leonard because we see him being very assertive, and Penny actually respects him and is more attracted to him when he behaves that way. I wish Leonard could have continued to be like this because it puts him in a better light as a man. It's one of his few moments of personal victory. Leonard goes through personal hell to be with Penny. He confronts her ex-boyfriend Kurt to get her television and later her money, risking his dignity and personal safety in the process. This is why in the season 10 episode, The Romance Recalibration, when Penny complains about Leonard no longer making an effort now that they're married, Leonard gets angry. I totally see where he's coming from. From his perspective, he has put most of the effort into the relationship. In the season 11 episode where Leonard wants to write a novel, he creates a female character who is constantly rolling her eyes and making snarky comments towards the male hero. There is even one episode where Leonard makes a joke to Sheldon about living with a bully, referring to Penny. I understand that this is all supposed to be funny, but this is one of the reasons why I find the later seasons of the show exhausting to watch. It is somehow socially acceptable and even humorous for women to treat otherwise good men with hostility and coldness. Now, to be a bit fair to Penny, who I would not say is a genuinely terrible person, she does do some things for Leonard too. She takes an interest in his nerdy activities, and she watches the movies that he enjoys. The season 6 episode, The Tangible Affection Proof, where Penny shows the box of things she kept from him, including letters and traveling tickets, is very moving. It shows that she actually does genuinely love Leonard, and she does care for him. I think that she does love Leonard despite the way she treats him at times, but this doesn't equate to respect. Leonard definitely appears to do more for her than she does for him. He buys her a car in one episode, and he tries to talk to her realistically about her career prospects, and it's as if at times he is just walking on eggshells around her. Overall, Penny generally takes Leonard for granted, and it becomes tiring to watch. The show periodically makes a joke about how Leonard doesn't deserve Penny and that she is out of his league. I think that Penny doesn't deserve Leonard. Let me know your thoughts on this below. For regular essays critiquing feminism, follow my Rational Female Substack. Link is available here or in the description below.